Hi Taurus, welcome to your monthly reading with me, Raphael, from Astrolada.com. Okay, my balls, so let's see what the month ahead has in store for you. Good news is Mars has literally just gone direct out of his retrograde, which means this whole feeling of kind of being stuck or not having as much energy as we like is about to lift. So that's the good news. Let's jump straight into your monthly reading for the month ahead. Before we start, I would like to call in all sorts of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance into this deck so that you get a message that is ultimately clear and concise. One's already popped out. Wow, okay, so I'm just going to go straight into this. The Ten of Swords shows up when we are at the end of a cycle. It's been quite a difficult June for some of you. That's kind of what I'm getting straight away from this. Now, the good thing about the Ten of Swords is, because when everyone sees it, they're like, oh my gosh, one of the worst cards in the pack. It really is, but what it represents is that difficult time is actually coming to an end. Now, 10 in numerology is the completion of a cycle. And since we always simplify numbers unless they're a master number, what this actually tells you is that you're at the beginning of a brand new cycle. So you've suffered, in effect, a sort of death of sorts. And what that kind of means is, especially with Mars going retrograde in the sign of Scorpio, you have literally come out of this last month a brand new person. What you've experienced is some really, really uncomfortable situations. What you've experienced is a really dark night of the soul, actually, and you're coming through it. So on the other side of it, you're going to be a harder and a stronger and a better and a faster being. So it's not all doom and gloom. That's your first card. So I believe it gets better from here. Your next card out. Okay, so this has come from the viewpoint. Now, you've been through these situations, you've been through this difficulty, and you're now at this moment in your life where you're thinking to yourself, okay, you know what? I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to stand my ground. That's what he's doing there in the Seven of Wands. That's what it represents. It's having the moral high ground. So even though you've been through this difficult time, even though you've experienced some quite difficult things, you've still decided to keep your morals and your personality intact. Not only does that show and speak volumes for who you are, but it also shows that you're really a lot stronger than even maybe you realise. Now, the number 7 itself in numerology represents learning, teaching. It's all forms of luck as well. That's one of the good things about the number 7. So if you are or have had disputes, they are ending in your favour and they are turning for the better for you. So when you get these two cards, that's kind of what it's saying to you. You've been defending your viewpoint, you've been defending your high ground, and more importantly, you're standing up for yourself. You're not having it anymore. So swords represent our communication or the intellect, whereas wands represent fire. And what is fire? Fire is the divine spark within us. It's that part of us that speaks from the soul and from the spirit. It's also the part of us that's connected to ideas and connected to inspiration. So what is your inspiration? What have you learned through this difficult time? That's what's going to be taking place for you this month. What you're going to be experiencing is this emergence of a brand new person who's stronger and knows how to speak their mind and has brilliant ideas. So this is a really powerful month for you, actually. Then you've got, wow. So this is a really shaping up for you, actually, wonderfully, Taurus. So what is the Three of Wands? The Three of Wands is new endeavours. The Three of Wands is that feeling of your ship coming in. So after this difficult time and having to really defend ourselves, we get new ideas, we get new inspiration, and more importantly, we get new guts. And one of the things about the sign of Taurus, actually, is yes, they like nice things, and yes, they can be a little bit materialistic, and they're very sensual beings, but actually they've got a lot of guts, they've got a lot of heart, and I think you're going to be tapping into that. But the difference is, this month you're going to be using it for yourself. You're not going to be giving it out to others. You're going to be thinking about what you can do for yourself, how you can better your own life, how your ideas can be used for your highest good instead of for somebody else's. So this Three of Wands, what else is it saying for you? It's saying that abundance is making its way to you. It's that feeling of your ship coming in. So it's also a feeling of travel as well. So it's a card of travel. So what does that say? It means that you might well be taking a short trip. Enjoy, by the way. It means that you will be looking further afield for opportunities. And that's really good because it means that outside sources are actually looking at you as well. So if you haven't been as yet, there's kind of an energy, what I'm getting from this is almost like a headhunting energy. So it's like somebody outside of you has seen the struggles that you've been through and how you've met each and every one of them. And they're like, yeah, you know what? I could use a person of that sort of resilience. I could use somebody with that kind of strength and that kind of skill. So this is really, really good. What is the number 3? The number 3 is transformation. So this kind of follows this whole motif. You're digging deep and you're pushing past it and you're creating new things. The number 3 is expression. It's communication. It's talking. It's beauty as well. And Venus is your ruler, which has just come into Cancer. So check in with your feelings as well, because you might get information from that or from the way that you feel about things. So when you get into a new situation, when somebody comes to you and they offer you an opportunity, listen to what your gut says, listen to what your feelings say, because that's going to tell you whether this is good, whether this is legit, whether it can help you, whether it can benefit you. I absolutely do feel that it will, because the 3 of Wands is a really bright card, and as I said, it's that kind of almost like a feeling of abundance, like it's new things coming in, because 3s represent transformation in the sense of life and birth. You know, the number 3 is a very birthing or very fertile card. So yeah, really tap into that energy if you can. And then, okay, so look at this. So this is you. Even for those of you that are guys that are watching this, the Queen of Pentacles usually represents an earth sign female. So this can be a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo. But since you are Taurus, and that's who I'm reading for, you've come up in your own reading. When that happens, it means that we're in a really strong place. It means that we are grounded. It means that we're firm. Now, what is the Queen of Pentacles? Who is she? She's steady. She's understanding. She is wise. She's slow moving. She ponders everything before she makes a step. And that's where her power lies. Her power lies in routine. It lies in knowing what she's doing and planning everything down to a T. One of the really good aspects of Earth is that it is slow moving. And while that might create in others sort of a feeling of, oh, I'm not moving quickly, for you this is actually a foundation of power, because you get a lot from that slow moving, because it means that you cross your T's and you dot your I's, you do everything planned, and that's a really, really good space to be in. Also, I will say to you, the Queen of Pentacles is she's very, very sensual. And for some of you, I feel like you haven't had a chance to be that of late, especially with all of this stuff that's been taking place. But as the month progresses, especially sort of mid-month onwards, you're going to be in this space where ideas will be coming thick and fast. And more importantly, you'll be able to start creating tangible results from the things that you've kind of put into fruition and put into motion, you know. So this is really, really good spread actually for the way that it's coming out. So on the 4th of July we've got a new moon. So what is the new moon? The new moon is beginnings. It is what else is it? It's new beginnings. It's the start of things. It's the time of the dark of the moon. So it's hidden things revealed as well very often. So what I've done here is separated from the Fluellen Tarot deck, which is one of my favourites. It's a really beautiful deck. Very much like Taurus. It's one of the finer things, I believe. So yeah, what I've done is separated the major arcana cards, and I'm going to give you one extra card for this month, and it's going to be about what you should be focusing on, or what's going to be important to you around the new moon on the 4th of July. Okay, so we've got the Death card. So a lot of people freak out when they see this card, and there is no reason to. Why? Because it represents transformation. Now, this is really, really interesting. And the reason I say it's really interesting is because the new moon is the time of transformation. Once you've had the full moon, which is things coming to a head and come into full fruition, you get the new moon. And the new moon is about creating something brand new. Now, when this card shows up, what is it saying to you? What it's saying to you is that the death that you've sort of experienced, and this is going back to this motif here, the death that you've experienced has been ultimately liberating for you. And the reason it's been liberating for you is because it's cleared the decks. When you clear the decks, it means that you're at a brand new place to be. This also represents the sign of Scorpio. So if you know anybody that's a Scorpio and they give you advice, listen to them, especially around the 4th of July, because whatever message it is that they're giving you is for you directly. It's going to help you along your path. Okay, so the other thing about this card as well is it can represent all of the, what's the word, all of this, the taboo subjects in life. So sex and, you know, sensuality from maybe more of a mysterious point of view. For those of you that are looking to get into this sort of arena of life, maybe look into Tantra so that you can get closer to a partner. Maybe look into what else is Scorpio? Scorpio is the 8th house. What is 8th house? 8th house is things like other people's money, shared resources, it's inheritance. For some of you as well, if you have been having this experience of, maybe you've experienced an actual death, and then you've had to have kind of words with people, or, you know, contracts and looking into legal battles and, you know, with inheritance being tied up, that's going to clear. And it's going to, it will open up for you around this time. But yeah, these are the things that you want to be looking into or focusing on or wishing for over the course of the full moon, which is on the 4th of July. So I hope that helps, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe this video, and pop over to Astrolada where you can book a reading with myself or many others. Okay, have a great month, Taurus. Bye.